Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. Today, I have with me the energy of the Ascended, who want to discuss the idea of the inevitable outcomes of love and fear. And we will get into that a little bit from now, but it's another brand new day. Hope you realize that when you open your eyes, it's literally a brand new day. And if by any chance you're not feeling like it's a brand new day, it's not because there's anything wrong. It's simply because you are remembering what was before. You may be living in a past present, awakening to the past in your present. And I lived that way for a long time, living in the past present. So you keep replaying the old things over and over again, the same stuff, different day. But today, right now, this is a brand new moment in your life. And you can choose to put your attention anywhere you like. You can put it on what you remember, and that will give you something that's like what you had before. You can choose to put your attention on a new possibility for your life. But this day for you and for me and for all of us is a brand new day. This is a brand new moment. And I'm really excited to be here with all of you guys. Remember, don't be shy to use the super chat feature if you want to have a question prioritized. Use the Linktree link in my TikTok bio if you want to ask a question directly through PayPal. I will get a notification on my other device that somebody's asking a question. If you have a private question, you can certainly send a private question, but please, if you submit a private question, please make note on your question that it's private so it doesn't get read out here. That's a good thing. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Yes. We're going to have an interesting time this morning. Hi, Drusilla. Hi, Jacqueline. Good to see you guys. Hello out there, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. So when the Ascended came in this morning, they said it's important that people know that there are inevitable outcomes from what they call functions of love and functions of fear. There are inevitable outcomes to the functions of love and the functions of fear. They also said that there's different degrees based on the life form, the physical form that you're inhabiting on this planet, how love and fear work for you. On the level of the animal, they say that with animals, love and fear are very visceral, very physical. Their whole world is based on the function of love as a mechanism of pleasure or pain on the animal plane of consciousness. That for animals, fish, other life forms that are not in full reasoning, and they wanted me to emphasize full reasoning because animals have the capability to reason in various degrees. There have often been animals that will approach humans and ask for help for their young ones that may be trapped or lost. Animals have foundational reason, the basic mechanisms to reason in certain degrees. If humans interact with animals, they can elevate the animal's reasoning capacity up. For people that are wondering why certain animal species like gorillas or chimpanzees can be taught sign language, the only reason they can be taught sign language is because the human consciousness, which has evolved its function of reasoning differently, is able to interact with these other life forms and elevate them up by interacting with them. So humans can elevate the reasoning capacity of animals as well. But for all intents and purposes, animals can pretty much only experience life from the perspective of pleasure and pain. So you could think of, for the animal, that pleasure could be considered love and pain could be considered fear. on the plane of the animal. They say also that is universal among animals, that pleasure pain mechanism is the function on the animal plane of love and fear, pleasure, pain. They said we have that same function, you have that same function in this physical body in which you're hearing us. You have the same function as the animal within your physical body, that the function of love and fear from the perspective of your body is a function of pleasure and pain. Unlike the animal, you are slightly more awake and aware of your consciousness, that there is a difference between you and your physical body, you and your thinking mind, or should we say your remembering mind, that there is a clear and a distinct difference between you as awareness, the functions of your biology, and the functions of your thinking mind. The function of fear and love from the perspective of biology is predominantly based in survival, that your body will survive. Even against unusual situations and circumstances, your body can override your reason in order for it to survive. But what we are most concerned with providing you with the understanding of is that the function of love and fear in relation to your consciousness, the function of your fear and your love in relationship to your consciousness has a different effect upon the conditions of your environment. Your body in and of itself would simply function with love and fear as a mechanism of survival, of pleasure or pain. But the function of your awareness is transcendent to the functions of pleasure or pain based upon the paradigm of your body. That is the function that is fundamental to the survival of your body. But your consciousness can override, supersede, transcend those organic functions of survival, the functions of love and fear based on pleasure and pain. You are capable of transcending your subjectivity to the body, in that you can find your body in very interesting situations and choose to override its instinctual inclinations to avoid a danger. Many examples are that you can take your bodies, you can throw them out of aircraft that move through the skies. You can throw your body out of it, which of course your body would not naturally do because it has no wings and it knows that it cannot fly based on the existing understanding that you currently have. But you quite frequently will override the instinctual functions of your body in order to do something other than the body in and of itself would not do. The inevitable outcomes of the function of love and fear from the perspective of your consciousness is that your consciousness, your awareness, your energy orchestrates and changes the existing conditions of your material world, which is why you've been able to create vast cities, technology, and other such things that have been acquired by you that allow you to reorient and reorganize physical matter itself. And although many of you might take it as something every day that you can take something out of the earth and turn it into an automobile or a computer or clothing, many of you simply take that for granted, not recognizing the profound nature that your consciousness has over influencing the conditions of matter in which you find yourself existing in this experiential and creative reality. The functions of creative love, that is, you create in order to enhance, to improve your lives and your experiences here. The creation, for example, of transportation, being able to move at great distances in a very short time, and space. You know, when you begin to move faster, you reduce the amount of space and time that you get to move through. You created these things, you orchestrated these things as a function of convenience and ease, that you might be able to expedite your experience in a very different way in this world. There is an inevitable outcome to that, in that you are able to experience your life very differently. The advent of your forms of manufacturing and producing your foods for your people. The difference in this also is an example where your function transcends mere survival, in that your consciousness has orchestrated and become the architect of a way of providing vast quantities of food for an ever increasing population without too much difficulty, with the exceptions that you have certain political machinations that restrict and control and manipulate the way in which you share the bounty of your creative process with others. Our primary consideration for you today, though, is there is an inevitable outcome to the function of creation and the function of destruction, what you call love and fear. The function of love always approaches and views the conditions under which life can most favorably operate. That is, the level of convenience and ease with which one can exist is established more readily, and therefore life continues to improve and enhance itself, evolve. You have a place in your consciousness now where you are preparing to leave this planet, as many of you have done in previous civilizations before. But there is an inevitable outcome to the functions of creation based on love, and the functions of your creation based on your fear. And you can see this clearly manifested in the conditions of your civilizations around the world, that some of you are doing quite well in the conditions of being able to feed yourselves and clothe yourselves, and others are not doing so well. The actual outcomes of love and fear are demonstrated by their life-enhancing or life-diminishing function. That which is a function of love enhances and improves the nature and quality of your experiential life in this dimension, as equally as the functions of fear will diminish it. There is an inevitable outcome unfolding on your planet today, within the conditions of all of your societies. The dominant function of energy that each of you will choose to engage in, individually and collectively, have inevitable results, in that the outcomes of the functions of love will sustain and extend your lives potentially far beyond the measure of years that you currently base your lifetimes upon. Whereas the functions of fear will ultimately end in the result, with your society and your planet not being able to exist in the fashion that you currently understand them. You have little understanding of the broader implications of what you do in your consciousness, that is, the nature and quality of your thoughts, the nature and quality of your actions, and how they will or will not impact your experience of your creation, as this creation is yours to use as you see fit, to build, destroy, and repeat if you wish, which has been done many times. That you know that the functions of fear are often easy to recognize for their life diminishing or life enhancing value. There are conditions where the function of fear can preserve your life, that you recognize that there is an apparent danger and you can take corrective actions in order to avoid the danger. What you do not understand is the broader implications of your emotions and your thinking and how they impact your actions. You see upon the planet today more and more hordes, as you put it, of people doing what you call looting, functions of what you call or classify as lawlessness. Many people now running recklessly in the function of fear, and there is an inevitable outcome to that. There is an inevitable outcome for all that are involved in that function, as equally as those of you that are building great mechanisms of survival deep in the depths of your physical planet in order to prevent yourselves from experiencing what has been experienced before. The experiences of before likewise ensued from the same function you see yourselves engaging in right now, that your predominant functions of love and fear are out of balance. That is, your function of fear is predominantly orchestrating the creation of your experiences for the vast majority of you, while a certain smaller majority of you are in the process of utilizing your function of love to create life-sustaining opportunities for certain groups and individuals who recognize what I'm saying right now, what is being said to you right now, that there is an inevitable outcome to the functions of your love and your fear. And it is not just a function that affects you individually, it affects your planet, it affects your solar system, and it affects beyond. At its rudimentary level, your body is not unlike your solar system in that this sphere that you call the sun in your sky emanates what your scientists call a field around it. As your solar system moves through space and time as it does, there is a field literally around your entire solar system generated by that structure you call the sun. That structure that your sun generates acts as a system for protecting and preserving the system itself, just as your body emanates similarly a field that emanates around it, and that field that emanates around your body can preserve it and protect it. Now, it is important that you consider that your body, like the solar system, is amenable to weaknesses and strengths depending upon the nature and the quality of the electrical phenomena interacting with it. In the context that we use these terms, this electrical phenomena is generated and established by your consciousness, what you give attention to, what you focus your thoughts upon. These form electrical interactions with the structure of your body, which alters and affects the field around it. And every single living soul upon this planet likewise is doing the same, emanating a field around the body, dependent upon the nature and the quality of your consciousness and your thinking mind. The more beneficial the thinking process is, the more stable the field around your body is. The less stable the thinking processes are, that is, if they have a current that would diminish your field. Again, trying to articulate this simply, that if you have a light switch and you turn it on, it will produce a light. If you have a thought in your mind that is good, it will produce an energy that is good. If you have a thought in your mind that produces an energy that's not so good, then the energy around your body collapses, like turning the light switch off. So you must understand that each and every one of you is doing this, and each and every one of you interacts with the greater field of this physical planet and the greater field of the solar system. If we were to come up to you and step on your toe, then your whole body would react, even though it's just a little toe on your foot, but your whole body would react. Do not underestimate the significance of your capabilities in consciousness to affect and influence matter, time, and space beyond the confines and the locality of your own physical body, that you do and can and are influencing time, space, and matter throughout the entire solar system with your consciousness. You could be that which enhances it or diminishes it. The function of love, in its simplest form, is a function that enhances and improves the quality of life, both individually and collectively. The predominant function of the vibrational energy of fear is often to diminish the function of life, where in consciousness and the thinking mind is involved, that the nature and quality of thoughts are living or less living. That is, a thought can give more life to you. A thought can give less life to you. When you begin to consider your creative process from this perspective, then the ultimate outcomes of fear and love can be easily determined, not only for your species, but for yourselves individually. That the process of evaluating the thoughts in your mind, that each and every thought is either a function of life or a function of less life, then you might do well to evaluate what your thinking mind is thinking, what you are saying, and what you're doing. Proceed from that. What you're saying and what you are doing proceed from what your mind is thinking. And only you can adjust the course of what your own mind is thinking, or you may allow that responsibility to defer to something outside of yourself, which is not recommended. When you consider that you came here to learn how to create in the first place, to learn how to actually execute creation, and that is what you're here to experience. And one way or another, you will experience what you experience, and you will learn from this experience, and you may come back and apply that experiential knowledge or not. But all around you right now, there are these two functions of your consciousness, these two functions of energy, love and fear. One is life preserving and life enhancing, and the other is not so much that. From the realm of your physical body, the function of pain or pleasure serves well to ensure that your body will avoid things that are going to harm it and align itself to things that will preserve it. But the same thing is true for your consciousness, that your consciousness, your thinking mind, has the same function over what you will experience. And what you see unfolding around you, your wars, your rumors of wars, all of these are quite simply the same functions of which we speak. That there is fear in the minds of those that would perpetuate actions that would diminish the well-being of life. It is that simple. And many of you do not weigh or measure or even consider the effects beyond your own noses, never mind beyond your own planet, how your fear, how your interactions with each other and yourselves is influencing and affecting the creation of time and space around you. You interact electrically, energetically, with all that is within the scope of this solar system and beyond, but we would prefer to stay within the confines of the solar system, as at least for some of you it will be considered possible that you may indeed be influencing and affecting events in your solar system with your collective energy being utilized and harnessed, whether you are aware of that or not. This is something that is happening. Just as you can be aware that if you think a certain thought in your own mind, then your body will feel a certain energy. But there are inevitable outcomes to that which is of love, and there are inevitable outcomes to that which is fear. This is the simplest primary consideration of what your process of creation is, that there is only the function and energy of love, and there's only the function and energy of fear. There are only those two hands from which to choose. You cannot serve both hands. You cannot serve both love and fear. You may serve one or the other. Each will yield its own creative outcome inevitably. Many of you may find yourself jumping from fear to love, from fear to love, in the process to ascertain which is best for you. And ultimately, in the end, as for your body, pleasure is infinitely more better for your body, but not necessarily good for your consciousness. As many of you find yourselves entrapped in the sensation of the senses, divested of the awareness that you are having an effect and ramifications for the overall creative process that you are a part of, whether you know it or not. You're not simply that little body hearing these words. You are far vaster than the local perception you have through that physical form in which you find yourself hearing these words. The ramifications for every thought you think go way beyond the scope of your own body. If you come to this understanding, then you will consider to evaluate possibly what thought that you would think that is of love, and what thought that you would think that is of fear, and which one would you serve? Which one will you serve? Each will reap its own harvest. You can see both outpictured in the world the functions of love and fear all around you, from the great creative efforts of artists and healers and teachers to the fearful element of war, hunger, authority, power, and control, which are diminishing and not doing so well in making your lives better. But every single interaction, everything that you will see in your world around you, and everything you will perceive within you can only be a function of love or fear. There are no other functions of consciousness in the realm of creation. Again, we distinguish very clearly between the functions of your biology, which ultimately perceive pleasure and pain as the mechanisms of love and fear on the level of biology, which does not include the function of creativity that humans display when compared to other animals, as other animals are able to function on the level that they're respectively at. Their creative consciousness allows them to sustain and maintain and preserve the overall well-being of the physical organism, but beyond that, they consider very little. The realm of the human consciousness, however, you are able to orchestrate, transform, transmute, and change substance and matter from this earth and recreate wondrous and new things. And equally so, you're able to create very destructive things. But the realm of your consciousness compared to the animal is far more influential and impactful in your experience of time, space, and matter. Even that one lying upon the streets with the bottle beside them is exerting a creative influence within the spectrum of human collective unconsciousness, as are those on the battlefields of your planet right now, as are those in the hallowed halls of your government agencies, as are the mothers and children and fathers all across this planet, each and every one of you contributing to the experiential creation that you are all observing unfolding around you and what you experience within you. And each and every one of you has the opportunity to decide which you shall serve. Shall you serve love, or shall you serve fear? Each has an inevitable outcome in how they will impact your experience of time, space, and matter. And if you're astute and aware enough, then you will easily look out and say, that is not how I would wish to think, as I know that if I think such a thing, I will create such a thing. Look upon the battlefields forming all around the world. Look upon your great holy texts and see in them the stories written of the inevitable results of fear and love that many civilizations have faced before yours. The opportunity that you have now is to evaluate what is your function going to be in these next few years, as this will set the stage for who will be playing upon it. There are only two functions of consciousness in your creative process, and that is the function of fear and the function of love. And you may choose but one in order to experience what you will experience. Love and fear, that is it. Each has their inevitable outcome. And you can look everywhere around you and see, is that love? Is that fear? Look around you. Look within you. Is what you are thinking of love or fear? Is what you are speaking of love or fear? Is what you are doing of love or fear? And it is ultimately the independent choice of each and every one of you to come to that conclusion, or you again may defer that choice to your leaders, to the influences that might come upon you in this world. You may defer your own choosing, but you cannot defer the result. As each and every one of you, if you so defer your thinking process to another, then you will experience the function of love or fear according to that thinking process. What your leaders may say or do or be can only come from fear or love, and it is simply that. And if you listen to fear, then you will go down the path of an inevitable outcome, as equally as if you listen to the function of love, you will go down an inevitable outcome. Each and every one of you is enjoined in this process of creation, and you cannot get out in the way you think you can. But you may choose to participate or not participate, but you will still reap the results of what is predominantly agreed to upon this planet. Choose wisely, choose very wisely, which master you shall serve, love or fear. It is not difficult if you pay close attention what is of love and what is of fear. When someone says something to you, when someone does something to you, is it of love or is it of fear? And each of you speaking and doing as such must evaluate your own actions. Are you doing, speaking, and being from love, or doing, thinking, and speaking from fear? It can be very easy to observe if you begin the process now. Time is not a commodity that you have in great abundance based upon where you stand creatively in your expressions, collectively and individually. Time is not exactly in great abundance. But again, the functions of time and space are amenable to change and transformation according to your consciousness and how you utilize it creatively. You can easily shift your consciousness collectively and individually from fear towards love. And that has an inevitable outcome, not only for yourselves individually, but your planet, your solar system, and beyond, as equally as the functions of fear will have their inevitable outcome. But you will see which one is getting most of your attention, as war is certainly not a function of love, is it? Poverty is not a function of love, is it? Harming another is not a function of love, is it? Taking from others what is not yours is not a function of love. If you choose to ignore the actions that you will choose to perform and the thoughts behind them, then you will reap the rewards whether you know it or not. We've simply come here through this one today to articulate that you have a very important choice that you are all in the process of making, and there is an inevitable outcome to your choice. You cannot serve two masters. You may only serve one. Wow. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Wow. Okay. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. I want to say thank you to the Ascendant for sharing that message with us. It really is true. It really is true. For anybody who hears this, there's only two choices you have in this life. You're going to choose to live from fear. You're going to choose to live from love. That's it. And there's an inevitable outcome. That doesn't mean you can't change your mind now, because I spent many years living in fear and uncertainty. And so I know it's possible to change. I know that you can change. Your suffering is a choice. It really is. And as difficult as that might be for some of you to conceive, it really is true that you can change your thinking. You can change your energy. And there is so much energy coming to this planet. I don't know if you guys can feel that. I can feel this in my heart chakra today. This intense vortex of energy. So there's significant energy coming into the planet. As much as we're putting out what we're putting out, there's also energy being transmitted to us from our guides, from our angels, from the sun, from other multidimensional beings. There's a fascinating excitement that I feel in my heart center. The fascination about the unknown and the limitless possibilities that face all of us, right, as individually and collectively. But we can grab some. Where did I put those? See if I can find. If everybody, can you see where they are? Huh? Thank you very much. Just my partner's going to see if she can find my glasses. We'll put this up on screen. Thank you for the super chat, R. Taylor. I'm trying to live in a state of love and light, but I have people in my neighborhood that are shooting refrigerant in my floorboards of the apartment and increasing heat towards my apartment. This is a very fascinating thing. So what they often say to us, we'll get to that in a second. So what they often say to us is your emotions are organizing your experiences. And it's yes, I know. So I'm being told to tell you, do not let your frustrations predominate. Let the extension of your love, even for these things that disturb you, be of love and grace. Transmit your love to those that are doing this to you, whether you are with them or not. Transmit your function of love to them. One of the things that they taught me to do is to sit quietly. Relax, get the body relaxed, and then get that feeling of love that you know that's in your body. Really get it going in there. Radiate it, fill your body with that feeling, and then direct that love to those people, but direct it with the thought. Thank you for improving the quality of my life. And I know it sounds like the opposite of what you think is going on, but direct that thought to them. Thank you for improving the quality of my life. Just direct that thought with a feeling of love towards them. And you watch in about 3 days' time, if you're consistent and persistent with that as often as possible. Thank you for enhancing and improving the quality of my life. Because that thought is going to go out from your body. It's like this sound wave coming out of this body. The sound wave coming out of this body gets picked up by this equipment, goes through the electrical system, comes out at your speakers or your headphones, depending on what you're using. And that sound wave hits your body, and the information contained within the wave gets translated into language in your brain. So even though I'm, for some of you, thousands of miles away from you, you're receiving a vibration where you are. That's just on the level of sound wave. Now, sound waves can be stopped. They can be confined. They can be restricted. But a thought wave can't be stopped by anything. So direct that thought. Thank you for improving the quality of my life. And do this for 3 consecutive days. Deeply and intensely. Project that thought with love. Thank you for improving the quality of my life. And do that for 3 days. And then come back when the 3 days is finished. I mean, we're live on Wednesday. So come back on Wednesday. You will have results. And observe and make note. Write down what changes as you do that to all these people that are involved in this in your neighborhood. Everybody that's involved in this. Direct that thought to them. Okay? Thank you for improving the quality of my life. Even if it doesn't feel like that right now physically, and they're doing things physically that bother you, do this. Thought transcends matter. Thought transcends matter. But you have to also add the energy of love to it. Like, so, thank you for improving the quality of my life. I'm transmitting that energy to those people as well as I speak these words. I'm transmitting that energy to them as well. Thank them for improving the quality of your life. 3 days, do that, and then let us know what happens. Thank you so much. Amanda, thank you for that super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Happy birthday, Amanda. May I have a message from my guides on my birthday? Thank you and God bless. The words, staying on track. You're staying on track. Stay on track. Relinquish any and all doubt of your courses of action. You are in alignment to love. Do not be concerned with the age of the body, but be concerned with the spirit of your love. Let the spirit of your love flourish on this day and all days. Allow that. Allow that. Allow that. It's funny that if you project love into the world around you, like not love to try and get something back, but just say, I want to extend this feeling of love to everybody else. And get a notepad. You learn this in our masterclass where we actually teach people the process of how to actually generate energy, change the energy of their mind, change the thinking process, and produce a new energy through the body and radiate that in the world. And you get a little notepad, like a dollar store notepad that you can carry around in your shirt pocket or pants pocket. And then before you leave the house, radiate a feeling of love. Like literally do this. Radiate a feeling of love out to the world for say 5 or 10 minutes before you go out the door. Just do that. Radiate that feeling of love. And then go out the door with your little notepad and then observe anything that happens around you that represents love. Oh, that person let me in the line in front of them. Somebody opened the door for you. Somebody let you have that parking spot. Observe the things that begin to happen around you. And when you can train your mind to that, wonders will begin to unfold. Literally. Star Bernice is asking, any message from Gula? They're saying you need to watch comedy. You need to watch funny. You need to get engaged in they're saying, get into the laughter, get into the funny. They want you to get into the funny. They're using those words, not me. Get into the funny. They want you to get into something that makes you laugh and brings your spirit and brings your energy up. Get into the funny. I like that. Who we got here? If I go that way, I'll be able to see it. Oh, I see. Okay, if I turn it like that. The red one, do I have a message for this soul? You need to go out and ground today. Go out and get connected to the earth. So important. We all need to do this, but you particularly, they're emphasizing that you need to go out and get directly connected with the earth. If you can't get outside, if it's winter, and go to a tree. Trees are still connected to the earth, even though they're dormant. Their energy still will ground you to the earth. So put your hands directly on a tree and let the energy of the earth and your body get resynchronized. But grounding is really, really important for you right now. Please ground. Yeah. Here's a great question from Kelly. Hi, Kelly is asking, why are my emotions acting wild? It's not just you, Kelly. Humanity is in a state of urgency right now, in that we're seeing wars, we're seeing things happening, rumors of wars, the biblical stuff they talk about. But what people don't understand is that we're in a decisive process individually and collectively. But for you specifically, what you need to do is you need to teach your body and you need to teach your mind to be still and quiet for a few minutes. Get close to those emotions, get close to those emotions that feel really wild for you. Get close to them and just simply speak these words to those emotions. For anybody, this won't just work for this person. This will work for almost anybody. If you got a lot of wild emotions going on in your body and your mind and your thinking mind's going crazy, take a deep breath and then think this thought and you want to direct the thought to the anxiousness in your body. And you also want to direct the thought to all the confusion and emotions that are running around through your system. And these are the thoughts. You're perfectly safe. I am with you. And you gently and sincerely repeat that thought to the body and to all those emotions. You're perfectly safe. I am with you. Keep the body relaxed. Keep it set down. Keep it still. If you need to close the doors and put it in a room that's not going to be disturbed, but be with those emotions. Don't attack them. Don't suppress them. Don't deny them. Just be present with them and say, I am with you. You're perfectly safe. No harm will come on you. I am with you. And just repeat that process to the mind and the body. And you'll find that the emotional energy will begin to almost immediately start to diminish as you start to step out of being subjective to it and you start to give your mind and your body directions. Because that's why a lot of people are in emotional confusion, mental confusion, is because they have never been taught that they can actually direct the thinking mind. And once you can direct the thinking mind, you can start to change the emotional energy that the thinking is producing, because thoughts produce emotional qualities. So please do that. Like, really do that right now. Sit down, all that swirl of emotions. I'm with you. You are safe. I will take care of you. You need to let your mind and body know that you will now take authority over it, because your mind and body is not designed to run on its own. It needs you to direct and guide it. And most people are getting bombarded with information that's fearful, anxious, TV shows that keep them in uncertainty and fear. A lot of people are being force-fed into fear. Think about that. When you turn your TV on, most of you are being force-fed into fear. And that's the truth of it. For those of you that are asking to come live with me today, please join me a little later this week. I'll do a TikTok live event where I'll bring people on. We've done that before, and it was really quite amazing. And it's a wonderful thing. But we will do that later this week. So yeah. Deborah's, I feel like someone is around and watching me. That's your great-grandfather. Deborah, it's your great-grandfather. Your great-grandfather is watching you. Yes. That's all. He's just there to watch you. He's happy in a good way. It's like he's feeling the love. He's seeing the effects of his own creation. The words I'm getting from him now are delightful and happy. That you are delightful, and he's very happy about what you are beginning to do with your life right now. He says he's been with you since you were about 7. Yes, that's really cool. Amber's saying, I've been having vision visitors lately. Am I developing mediumship? Everyone, yes, you are opening your clairs up. Everyone has the capability to access realms of information outside the 5 physical senses. Everyone can learn to connect to their guides and angels. Come on out to our masterclass 101. It's called Awakening, where you learn the simple step-by-step process for activating and training those faculties. I highly encourage you to go sign up for that course and learn to develop those skills from the class. Most people are stuck in the 5 sensory body. What they see, smell, touch, taste, and hear is the only reality. And yet there's this other realm of clairvoyance, intuition, gut feelings. There's different terms you want to give these other faculties that you have of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. These are your spiritual faculties that can enable you to comprehend and perceive the non-physical realms of information, knowledge, wisdom, and truth from a field of existence that's far beyond the scope of what you can perceive with your 5 physical senses. Just the same way as science well knows that there's a spectrum of color and a spectrum of sound that is so far beyond what you can see with your eyes and hear with your ears. That's because there is a spectrum of consciousness as well, far beyond what your mind can think or perceive with the 5 physical senses. But those senses that are non-physical must be developed. They weren't developed when you were a child. They were ignored when you were a child. Although children talk to their grandparents and other beings all the time, and people used to, shuck that off to something's wrong with the child. They've got hallucinogenic problems. No, your child has a perceptual apparatus that is not deprogrammed. They can see, they can hear beyond the spectrum that you've been conditioned to, that most of us have been conditioned to only see with our eyes, hear with our ears, smell with our nose, touch with our hands. But there's this other realm of experience and wisdom and knowledge. So yeah, you are opening up. Everyone has some capability in this regard. Everyone has some capability in this regard. You go to my website if you want to know, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. You can sign up for the masterclass today. She's saying, so the person whose friend, that was your sister, was it? Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, she wants you to laugh. That's what you need to focus on. Someone's saying, I'm stuck in a fork in the road. Can my guides offer any direction? Choose both. Choose both. Do this and this. You must get out of the unnecessary confusion of either or. You're far more capable than you are giving yourself credit for. You want to choose this and this. Do both. It will become obvious to you if you need to choose only one, but for now, choose both. The way will be clear to you soon enough. The way will be clear to you soon enough. Thank you so much. Got a question from Magic in the Making. I had a dream of being chased and followed. I never have dreams like this. Is there something I should be concerned about? No, you don't have to be concerned at all. Your mind, your soul is awakening. Listen, a lot of people on this planet are awakening right now. And for you, you are literally awakening. That is your mind and body system now being slowly taken over by you. You're now beginning to take authority over your mind and body. That's what that symbolizes. You're now beginning to wake up that your thoughts and your body are not who you are. And the old personality recognizes that you are awakening. There are 2 billion souls on this planet that are beginning to awaken right now. And it's going to be a bit strange for a lot of people when you start realizing, I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my body. I'm something else. And there's a lot of people beginning to awaken to this reality that you are not your mind. You are not your body. You are a soul. You have a mind. You have a body. So don't be afraid of the dream. You are awakening. And the energies coming into the planet, these ascension energies, are literally going to support and sustain this awakening process, or they'll support and sustain deeper suffering, right? Because you have to choose one or other. You choose love or you choose fear, right? Like what the Ascender were saying earlier. We only have those 2 choices, love or fear. But no, you're awakening. Don't worry about it. You're awakening. Meditation will really help you move you along a long way. You're welcome, Amanda. You're welcome, and thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm being told to tell you, Sundance, watch out for the sugars. You need to stay away from the sugars. I don't know who this is, but it's like a loving voice. It's like I'll say it's a feminine voice, but stay away from the sugars. That's the tone they're using. Stay away from the sugars. There is an attunement that cannot happen because of the sugars. There is an attunement to your energy that cannot happen because of the sugars, right? Yeah, all I'm seeing this hand kind of waving. I'm trying to see if I can see who they are, but no, I'm only hearing the voice, but I see a hand waving back at me. That's really cool. Thank you so much for the roses. Do my baby trees know that I love them? Absolutely. They're showing me the image. If like their energy does this when you're around, you don't see it because your eyes are used to looking at just the trees, but their energy is doing that. When you go around your trees, their energy starts to sway. Their energy, they say they love that your presence is with them. It makes them sway energetically back and forth. A lot of people don't know that trees, although their physical form stays in one place, they have an energy field that is dynamic and moves, right? In this case, for you, yeah, they love that. If you allow yourself to go out among the trees, get close to them, sit down around them, and just feel the energy of the trees. Don't get caught up in so much the physical tree, but feel the energy that comes out from that physical tree. And you'll be quite delighted at what you can experience when you allow yourself to feel the energy of a thing versus just seeing the thing as a thing. My guardian angel John told me one of the most destructive things that humans have done was to name things. Naming things was very detrimental in terms of understanding your communication and your intimacy with the thing itself. He said that things like rocks and trees are not what you have labeled them to be. So you cannot know them because the label diminishes you from perceiving the thing itself as what it is. But if you simply pick something up, if you pick a stone up off the ground, you've picked a stone up off the ground, and what it can experience and offer with you is very different than if you simply understood you were interacting with another aspect of consciousness that has inclined you to interact with it in order to exchange information with you. Is that not fascinating? That if you do not have labels for things, there's an energy exchange that can happen, that cannot happen because you have the label. Wow, that's really cool. Sarah Jane says, my mom passed away suddenly and unexpectedly 3 days ago. Can you give me some advice? Yeah, thank you so much. And much love to you and much love to your mother. Again, when the physical body ceases to exist, you physically feel a loss because there is a physical loss. But that soul that is your mother is not gone from existence. They're gone from the physical dimension. And that weird feeling you have in your body right now is her energy still trying to interact with you. And if you want to sit down right now for a moment, Sarah, sit down, just sit down, take a slow, deep breath and relax the body. And then just feel the space around your body. Don't try to feel a physical presence of your mother, but feel her energy because she's been around you since this happened. She's been able to be more around you than you have realized in the last few days. But you really want to just sit there and connect with her energy because there's just this love that she's got is just like bubbling out of her. I'll use the term heart because that's the language that I'm interpreting her information at. But it's like this bubbling fountain of love that's coming out of her heart to you, all around you, literally showering down around you, like this fountain of love that she wants you to just receive her love. Because you think that she's gone, and she's not gone. The physical form is gone. Right? Science has not quite developed the technology to perceive different human individual wavelengths, right? Because every single human individual is a unique frequency. You as a soul are a unique frequency. But your mom loves you so, so much. Just allow that fountain of love to just cascade down around you. Sit down. She wants you to just receive it. Receive it. I don't know why, but she's smelling a rose. She's showing me smelling a rose. She's smelling a rose and saying, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rose. Beautiful, beautiful rose. Right? So that's for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing and bringing her energy into this with us today. Thank you so, so much. She's a beautiful woman. Just sit in the fountain of her love. Like literally let the fountain of her love cascade around you and within you. Wow. God bless you, Sarah. God bless your mom. Thank you so much. 11. Yeah, I do have to be careful. Okay. I'm saying I got a meeting in about 45 minutes I need to be prepared for. Does wearing black really protect us? Not necessarily, because you're dealing with a physical dimension. The armor of God, and this is what I've been told the armor of God is, which is a field of love. You can literally And I've experienced this in my life without knowing it was happening. But I want you to know that your body can emanate. You can stimulate your body to radiate love, or you can stimulate your body to radiate fear. And whatever energy you're projecting out into the world, that's what you're experiencing, because your energy sets up your experiences of the world. If you're fortunate enough to be raised in an environment where you were treated lovingly and with respect and kindness and dignity, then the chances are you're leading a very good life. Chances are, not necessarily. But generally speaking, you'll lead a fairly good life. If you're raised in an environment that can be very toxic and detrimental, generally speaking, you'll be experiencing things that are toxic and detrimental around you. But they're both, in either case, it's based upon the energy that the individual harbors in their thinking mind, which creates their feeling energy. So you want to before you even leave the house, as was said earlier, before you even leave the house in the morning, get into a vibration of what for you would be a vibration of love, and simply emanate that vibration out to the world. We have a program we're running called 1 Billion Strong. We're about to make some changes to it very soon. We have a Facebook group called 1 Billion Strong. Our goal is to eventually get 1 billion people consciously and deliberately accessing, activating, transmitting, and broadcasting a vibrational field of love, and observing how that vibration induces change in time, space, and matter around you. But the color black, if you believe that the color black is going to protect you, if you've got a strong belief that I'm always safe in the color black, then the energy of your belief will make it so. But that's just the energy of your belief. As you believe, so it shall be, right? And it's really that simple. So yeah, if you believe black, if you believe blue, if you believe yellow, if you believe purple, if you believe any color is going to protect you, then it can protect you. But I've been taught over these last 5 years that the dominant emotion that you keep in your consciousness at any given moment is creating your experiences. Every one, right now. That there's huge energy happening on the planet right now. Huge, huge, huge transformational energy available to everybody. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tara. Have a wonderful and a joyful day. Thank you so kindly. Enjoy your conference. Yes. Yes. Is my husband watching? Well, not in the sense he's present. There's a difference between him being present and them watching. He's present with you. He's present with you. And he says you've known this, but you keep doubting. He says every time you get to a place where you feel like he's right with you, you suddenly you look around, you decide he's not around. That's a lot of people do that. Their energy comes around and you feel their presence. You feel that moment of, like they're going to walk in the door, or you get that feeling that's going to happen. It's because their energy has literally joined you in that moment. And then your memory kicks in and remembers them a certain way because of their energy experiencing with them now. And so you then think, they didn't come through the door, because your memory tells them, I had this feeling when they're around, when they walk through the door, or when they sit on the couch, or when they speak to me. But what you don't realize is that your memory gets in the way of what's actually happening in the present moment, where you actually feel their energy with you. And you're going, wow, and just bliss out on that. Yeah, he's with you. His energy is with you, right? And that's what you're feeling. That's what you're feeling right now. He's telling me now you're feeling it. But if you go into that, you feel that feeling of them, and then your mind tells you, he's not here. Well, then you dismiss their energy. And that doesn't feel right. It's like being told, your child is waving at you, right? And you say, you ignore them. So when you suddenly feel or sense, get a thought or a memory of them popping up in your mind, it's also because their energy is connecting to you in this dimension. Their energy is connecting with you. And your brain is just used to perceiving them as a memory. There's a lot of people that think they're lost right now. This person saying, I feel lost right now. You need to learn to get yourself into meditation, like to whatever degree. Join us on Saturday, where we discuss and do a short meditation on Saturdays, right here on this channel. That feeling of lost is the difference between who you are and who you are not. The difference between being stuck in the belief of who you've been made to be and the truth about who you are. You are not who the world has told you to think that you are. You're not what the environment has made you to be. And that's why a lot of people are feeling alienated from themselves, why they're feeling lost and disconnected, because you are. But you're not disconnected in the sense of being lost. You're disconnected because you're not aware of who you are as a consciousness. You're caught up in the memory of the body-mind self as being the only source of who you are. Your mind and body are the instruments that you use while in a physical dimension. They are not who you are. They are instruments through which you operate in a physical dimension of creation. And why a lot of people feel lost is they think they are the mind and body, and you're disconnected from the incredible soul that you are. The incredible soul that you are, that can from which you can only change your mind or body from the position of your soul, because your mind and body cannot change themselves from within themselves. And that can make anybody feel lost if you believe you can't change anything in your life, because you're stuck in your mind. If you feel hopeless and helpless, it's because you're stuck in your mind. It's not who you are. You're not hopeless. You're not helpless. You are love. That's your true nature. You are love. That's your true nature. They tell me this all the time. William, remember this. You are love. It's what you are. And love thinks very differently than your mind and body do. Your mind and body have been trained to think and believe in certain things. And when you awaken to who you are as a soul, then you can start to change your mind. We go into great detail. Come and join our Masterclass 102. It's called Liberation, about getting yourself awakened from being just stuck in your mind and body. Because you're not just your mind, you're not just your body, you are a soul. In that program, we will teach you how to awaken yourself, to differentiate yourself from the thoughts in your mind and the actions of your body, to awaken to what you are as a spiritual consciousness, as a divine entity, if I can use those words. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are a soul, a spirit of universal light. That's your true nature. And when you get aligned to your true nature, that feeling of feeling lost will go away when you realize, oh, I can change my thoughts. I can change what the body's doing. When you suddenly realize I am a creating intelligence, I can alter and change the thinking process. I can bring new thoughts in. I can bring new information in. And you can. You can connect to your guides and angels. And you can learn to do that. We teach you how to do that, how to connect your guides and angels, and then get information from a quantum field of limitless potential. Not just from the world. Most people just get their information from the world, which is very limited. The world of man, of economics and politics and psychology and theology and philosophy. And they're all really wonderful in many respects, but they're still limited to the confines of the information themselves and can only work with what's in that system. And so nothing can change significantly from within a system. So you cannot really evolve yourself within the confines of your own mind, but you can evolve your mind by getting outside of it and changing it. And again, you can learn to do that. You can learn to, oh, thank you for the puppy dog. Appreciate that. Yes, you're still on the right path. You really, really are. You really are. Wonderwall is asking, my paper towel holder fell off on the floor by itself. It's pretty heavy for it to fall. Did something push it off? Not something, someone. And again, this is, I'm getting the energy of like, this is a you need to go out in nature. You need to go out in nature. It might be a little too far-fetched for you to consider that this is a being called Pan. That the energy of this being called Pan is calling you to nature, to go out and be in nature today. Very important for you to go out and be in nature today, right? To go out and be in nature today. I'm being told to tell you it's important to get your mind clear of the clutter, of the fear. Return to nature today. This will really help you tremendously. Return to nature today. Thank you so much. Appreciate the hearts. Thank you so much. What is the difference between guides and angels? This is a great question. And well, guides have a different relationship. I'll speak from my own experience. My guardian angel, John, for example, he came to me the very first time in my life when I was on a bridge. I was going to jump off a bridge when I was 20 years of age, and he spoke to me in my head. And he's very earthly. He's more versed in what I need to do in this world. And he directed me to get off the bridge, for starters. And he directed me to go to a payphone. And he directed me to call a certain phone number and ask for a certain man who helped me at that time in my life, because I was in a very difficult time at that point in my life. So John, as my guardian angel, works strictly with helping me navigate and deal with things of the world. And I call him more of a guide. But an archangel like Archangel Raphael or Archangel Gabriel are more connected to the divine planes of information, a more expanded version of information beyond the five sensory self, that they can perceive and receive information from a consciousness greater than themselves. Just like your mind and body can receive direction from you, angels can receive direction from the divine. My guardian angel John receives direction from the world around him. He takes what he knows around the world of the dimensions he's in. He receives that and gives that to me for this world. So it's really a difference in degree from a guide to an angel in terms of the knowledge they'll give to you. Master Jesus can give you significantly more guidance, has a more profound connection to God than angels and archangels. It's a very different thing in degree and intensity. But if you're asking the question and you want to know the answers, you can learn to do that. Sign up for a 101 masterclass. It's called Awakening. And connect to your guides and connect to your angels, and you'll know the difference directly. I'm trying to give words to something that I experience on a day-to-day basis now. If I let the energy of an ascended master come through me, it's a very different feeling than when my guardian angel John is talking to me. It's a very different energy. I feel like I'm actually having a conversation with John, whereas with archangels, with these beings, I literally, yes, ascended masters, these beings, I just receive. That's it. I just receive. There's direct information. It's something that you have to experience to really know. But everybody experiences it one way or another. But that's a great question. Adriana is asking, but how do we know if it's our guides or something else? I see spirit around. By experience. I know the difference between the energy of Jesus, and I know the difference between the energy of Jesus and Archangel Raphael. And I know the difference between the energy of Archangel Raphael and my guardian angel John. I know the difference. And you learn that difference by experience. We have a process in our masterclass called sensing energy, where we take you through a process for being able to call in and sense the energy and the way in which your guides, angels, and ascended masters will interact with you. And you can learn that just by doing the practice, coming in a learning environment where you have other instructors. And it's over a 3-week period. And you get a chance to experience your guides and your angels the way you're able to experience them at this point in time of your consciousness. But you can learn that. There's an actual process for learning that. Hi, Shannon. Shannon's asking, do you feel I'll be channeling messages for the collective or individual? I get a strong yes for that, but many of you are still going through the process of being afraid of what other people will think. Because when you move into the realm of information beyond what you know, it can be very disturbing to people because everybody's so attached to what they know. There are so many of you so attached to what you know, you are afraid of what you do not know, and therefore you are unable or unwilling to accept what you do not know. And so you must recognize that there will be those that will fear what they do not understand. And what's important is you can ask to be given information in such a fashion that it will not threaten or harm another individual, but will provide them from where they are with the level of insight that they require in order to elevate their consciousness to a slightly higher level. And that's basically what I do now. I let information flow through And it comes in my readings, for example, with people. When a person comes for a reading with me, I've never had the same reading twice. It's been always unique and distinct. And they come in with their questions, because in the reading you write out 10 questions, and then you'll come to the live meeting, and which we record, so you can download the recording afterwards. And I basically just open up to the energy of these beings that are there for you, your guides, your angels, the ascended masters. And when you get a chance, you can ask them the questions you need to ask them. And without exception, I mean, you go to my testimonials page, williammichaelforbes.com/testimonials, and check out the hundreds of testimonials of people there that have experienced what they've experienced connecting to their guides and their angels. Many of the people that come to readings often go on to take our master classes and are now going off and teaching other people and helping others, right? These beings, your guides, your angels, whether they come through me or they come to you directly, they will change your life in the simplest and most profound and moving ways, right? But yeah, everyone has guides, everyone has angels, everybody without exception. Even those diehard atheists have guides and angels, whether they know it or not. Where do they think they get their inspiration from, or new ideas? But it's okay. You're in a free, creative realm where you can think and believe whatever you choose. But there are physical realities that exist. There is science that proves that if I take this mug and I let it go, gravity will make that mug fall to the ground and smash. Although there are beings on this planet that can actually levitate that glass. There are beings that can do that. I can't do that, but there are beings that can do that, right? So the laws of walking on fire. I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have done 2 firewalks in my lifetime. And that was a moving example of what will happen, where your awareness, your soul directs your mind and body. Your soul directs your mind and body to believe something different. And the body does not react according to the same laws of physics, because your consciousness is creating changes in time, space, and matter all the time. You can learn all this stuff. All right? But yes, you will, Shannon. You just need to let go of that fear. Wonderful, Amber. I hope you do. I dreamed of a dragon, a red one. Is there any significance to that? Yes, Terry, you need to really open up your creative energy channels. Again, painting, arts, you need to do something very creative. That's not something you would normally do, but it's very creative. But I'm getting like artwork, poetry, something that allows your creative energy to flow. Architecture, but the energy of that dragon is to allow you to access and actualize your creative energy into manifestations, right? And you're doing that all the time. Everybody's creating. Every one of you is creating. Every single human being on this planet cannot escape the fact that they are creating. Every human being on this planet is participating in creation, whether they know it or not. Everyone, all of us. I love that. Let's go down here. Hi, Lauren. Lauren's asking, I have a new student in my mindfulness class who is labeled as difficult child. He seems to be struggling at home too. Please ask his higher self how I can best serve to connect and support him. This is a great question, Lauren. And as you just illuminated, your thoughts are not bound by time and space. And one thing I'm being told to tell you right now is you have to remove the idea from your mind that he's a difficult child. You have to get into your mind that this is a beautiful child simply struggling to articulate who he is in the realm. Tell his higher self right now. I'm going to tell his higher self right now that you are willing and open to being a space where he can be seen and heard as he actually is. And decide that in your mind right now, Lauren. I will choose to see this person as he really is, and not how others have told me he is. You must decide that and transmit that to him. I've decided to see you as you are, and not as others have told me to see you. Transmit that thought to him right now. And then when he comes to class, be in a state of gratitude. Remove all framework of he's difficult from your consciousness. Do not perceive what other people have said, and you'll notice an immediate difference, Lauren. Because children react and respond to energy. Children react and respond to energy. Everybody does. Everybody on this physical dimension, reacts and responds to energy. Everybody, without exception. And you don't have to say a word when you're directing energy. Be that space of love that this child needs you to be. And any of your students, you are the space of love in which they can unfold their divinity. You can just decide that I'm the space through which these children, these beings, these humans can actualize themselves. I'm a space for their self-actualization. And from that type of thinking process, you will develop different behaviors, and different ideas will start to come into your mind about how to treat that person, because you'll be divinely inspired. You'll be divinely inspired instead of stuck on the human interpretation of what people think that means, right? I got time for 2 more questions, guys, and then I have to get prepared for my next meeting. Lisa is asking, there's a missing 16-year-old in Georgia, Kate Lynn Phillips. Is she okay? I get it. Thank you so much for asking that question. I get it. I get a yes and a no. That yes. If you want to, this is not something that we should go into much detail here, but I get a yes and a no. I'm getting, there's a radius of about 100 miles. Within a radius of about 100 miles. Right? That's, I'm being told to tell you that. Is there anything else I can disclose at this time? That she's alive. She's alive. And she's not comfortable, but she's alive. Right? So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm getting 2 men. One has dark hair and the other has sandy brown hair. They're not very nice people. And I'll leave it at that. But thank you for the super chat, Lisa. Did I clear all of my attachments? Well, I presume you're referring to negative attachments. As long as you're in this physical dimension, you're going to have some negative attachments, but they don't have to be detrimental to you. That you've gotten the ones that you need out of the way. You now need to focus on the cultivation of the function of love. The negative attachments that have been with you have allowed you to facilitate and evolve your consciousness. They've allowed you to facilitate and evolve your consciousness. Yes. So you can go to that place inside where you can release all the attachment, but everybody's going to have some negativity, because without it, you have nothing to change or evolve against. You need some polarity for transformation and change, right? You want to get rid of the things that impede you the most. You want to get rid of the things that impede you the most. But you want to have some challenge in your life so you can continue to evolve. Like what's going on in the world is a great chapter. Humanity has the best chance ever of evolving itself to a state of love and grace than anything else, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hello, I've been told that I am an angel. Is that true? If you want to know the truth of this, this is what I'm being told to say to you. If you want to know the truth of this, and hear our words very clearly, it becomes very important that you divest yourself of the distractions of your thinking mind and your physical world. You need to step away from your thinking, remembering mind. Step out of it. Step out of it, and then you shall know the truth that you cannot know within the confines of your mind, which is the place from which you're asking us this question. You're asking us this question from within your mind, and your mind is filled with uncertainty. So, of course, that is all you can perceive. You must step outside the confines of your thinking mind. And once you step outside the confines of your thinking mind, you will know and feel the truth. Wow, that's really cool. Hi, guys. Who's this here? We got One Love One is asking, my child has been having intense stomach pains for the past few days, and nothing has worked so far. Can you please give us some clarity and relief? First of all, I want you to understand that I'm not a medical professional. I'm not qualified to give medical advice, but I can say from the process of being a Reiki master and a healer that you can literally bring your child to the pain. Bring your child to the pain in their stomach. Get your child to speak to their pain, to speak and think to their pain. Do this. Tell them to tell their pain, it's going to be okay. I love you. Do this right now. Have the child turn to the pain in the stomach and say, I am with you. It will be all right. I love you. Now, barring that, have them do that for a few minutes and observe. Have them tell you what they experience. Have them do it once. Have them do it again. Have them do it again and tell them what changes. Ask them that question. What changes? What changes? What changes? Each time they do that. What changes when you say, you're going to be okay. I'm with you. I love you. Get them to think to their body that way. Okay. Barring that, you might want to go and bring them to a medical professional, but I'm being told that you already have and they can't find anything wrong, right? Which means there's something in their energy field or there's something occurring in their life that's really upsetting their solar plexus chakra. But that's the way they can begin to change the symptom of what it is that's disturbing them. And what you really want to do is find out what the stomach knows, right? Anyway, start with that process, and whatever you do, share the experience that you have with your child. And you may do the same to them and say, I'm with you, I love you. You're already doing that to your child, but teach them to do that to their own suffering too. Children can be taught to heal, especially at younger ages. You're welcome, Lisa. What does it mean when you never dream? Well, bless you. This is Shannon. Shannon? Thank you, Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Yeah, dreaming is, if you're not dreaming, it's because you're awake. I know that it sounds strange, but when you're not dreaming, your mind is not active. It means you as a soul are not bound by your mind the same way. What I recommend that you consider doing before you go to sleep at night, make a decision that I'm going to look down on my body. Make a decision before you go to sleep. I want to look down on my body, okay? Do that tonight. Because if you're not dreaming, it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because your mind is not active, which is good. You don't want an active mind when your body's asleep. When your body's asleep, it's supposed to be into healing and correction when you sleep. And if the mind is dreaming, it's because the mind is active, subconsciously active from the day before. And you want to, when that's not happening, the body can actually heal better. Anyway, but that's just something you want to try to do, because again, your mind is not busy. You might as well awaken your soul to astral traveling, astral projection, other things that you can learn to do as well. I want to say thank you to everybody today for coming out. How we do today? No, we got 11,111 likes. That's pretty cool. I'm seeing 11,111 for likes. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, TikTok. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Share this information. If you've enjoyed anything you've heard here today, if it's made sense to you, you felt a grain of truth, share this with other people. Give them the opportunity to experience what you've experienced, to know what you've learned. This is the time of awakening. So please like, subscribe, share, follow. Become a subscriber on either YouTube or TikTok, Facebook. Join this movement of awakening that's happening around the planet right now. And I want to wish you all a wonderful and a joyful day. Much, much love. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.